Hey everybody, welcome to Forge the Narrative. This is our Monday Night Live webcast. I am Paul Murphy, your host. I'm joined tonight by Justin Troop.
I did it. There it is.
And Chris Morgan.
I don't swear.
What's up, guys? ATC this weekend. I cannot wait to be playing. I'm going to be doing my best to not embarrass myself.
Yeah, don't embarrass me either, Paul. I'm really riding on your reputation here for this podcast. Don't let me down.
I typically do okay at tournaments. I'm a safe bet. If you bet on me to place favorably in tournaments, you probably won't lose your money.
You heard it here first. Paul Murphy just won ATC.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time. That'd be number 3.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you were betting on just odds of teams that have won, I'm still the safest bet.
Yes, and you have a solid team behind you. I feel good about you guys.
I feel good about the team too. Let me brag on them a little bit. We had some people that weren't able to come, and that created. Now I didn't find out they weren't able to come until like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. So that really put a cramp on things. And things come up, and life gets in the way of toy soldiers all the time, and that's no different. But that goes right in line with what we're talking about. That sometimes it's an accomplishment just getting your team there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But let me say that one of the people that we didn't think was going to be on the team was able to then turn around and be on the team, so I'm happy to have somebody there that was wanting to go, planning to go, ready to do some work. And then we got 2 people. Got a guy by the name of Ricky Addington, who's an amazing person and night player out of the southeast area. He's going to be filling in for a spot. And we've got Philip French, who was one of the best Space Marine player last year. Mm-hmm. And his team finished pretty highly last year. That his original team had some troubles making it. We were able to pick him up for the Forge Narrative team. It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah.
So who's on the full roster then?
So I've got Juice, who we didn't think was going to be there, who's able to be there. You remember from being on the show before and on this webcast. We got Kenny Boucher, who you also remember from the show before, and then me, who's on the show right now, and the 2 guys I just mentioned. So it's every list pretty much crafted to do well at the event. Now, we also know I wrote the missions for the event, but none of those guys and nobody else out there in the world knew anything about the missions before they were published.
That was super secret. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I had to do in a vacuum, and that's why as soon as we published them, we started taking feedback from the community, and people should be able to see that feedback reflected in the missions as they are now. There have been some changes to the wording and the way everything shakes out, and hopefully it's going to be a fun event, much like the Forge Narrative Seasonal was, where everyone had an amazing time. Well, I shouldn't say. I'm sure somebody didn't have an amazing time. Everybody played both dates.
I was miserable the whole time.
That's because you had to look from the sidelines.
Stupid
sad
word.
lip of yours. That's right. Hey, I understand. But I'm really excited to be playing in this event with people who are going to try their best. We're going to try to win, and we're going to be playing against people who are trying to do the same thing.
Well, and too, like Juice last year, he was on the North Carolina Summit or the other. They finished real high. You and Kenny have been teaming up for years, so Ricky Addington, he did really well at the seasonal. A great night player, like you said, just amazing dude. And you got last year's best Space Marine player. Hello.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good.
I mean, that is a winning combination. You have the tools.
A lot goes into these teams as far as like deciding. I mean, as a captain, I don't want to say that doesn't really matter so much, because you really should be talking to your team about this. What the captain does is just make sure everybody gets there. So, I got the rooms booked. I made sure everybody had their army listed on time, and I'm trying to motivate people as we go forward. That's what the captain's job. Winning the event is less about the captain and more about the team and then the individual games, because it's one-on-one competition for every table.
And sometimes dice are involved.
Yeah, sometimes a lot of. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Philip, the guy again with Best Space Marine, I actually played him in the last ATC. And the first thing he said to me is like, "Hey man, I hope you remember we played. You failed all these 5-inch charges." They weren't 5. They were like a 6 and an 8-inch charge that I failed that allowed him to get the game over me, man. So what else can I say?
And people don't fail charge distances, man. Especially like 2 inches away through difficult terrain. Nobody rolls snake eyes when that happens.
I was playing Paladins with Drago, and I had St. Celestine, and it was. I mean, the list. I felt like the list just had it. It did not have it. It did not.
It was a big year last year, though. I remember last year was a lot of things were like, "Oh, let's just try this out. Let's just try that out," and it all sounded good on paper.
Well, I mean, let's be absolutely honest. Coming off of 2 wins and then a second place finish, people get, let's just say, a little cocky. I can be included in that. Get a little bit lax, and we misinterpreted the meta. We had a couple of lists that we had no business playing, but yet we were playing them, and we still did all right. We did okay.
And 7th just dropped too, so I mean that was another factor as well to think about.
I don't want to put too many excuses on there that are outside of
you were terrible.
our misinterpreting. We did not do very well, but that's lit a fire under me to really make a big impression this year with lists that matter.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but the pre-ATC is also known as MurphCon. Am I right?
I don't. There's been again a lot of stuff going on this year. I don't know if I'm going to do a full-on MurphCon this year, but that is typically what we did. We got the videos up online from previous years, and yes, and that will happen next. I promise you, without a doubt, that will happen next year. I don't know what's going to happen this year. I might just be the original Murph in the MurphCon by itself. Might be right here doing this exact same thing. Cheers.
Just doing some blueberry stuff.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah. I'm drinking blueberry lager tonight because I don't, no shame, 8%. So.
See, you say blueberry lager, and I think like it's a guy chopping down blueberry trees.
Yeah.
That could be, depending on what area you are of the country. Well,
maybe I'm just being facetious.
Kelly K, Ash, Lamont, Steve, Table New, Charles Ross, Troy, good to see you guys. There are going to be some more people popping in the chat, I'm sure. Thanks a lot for tuning in tonight. I know during the summer things are a little slow, but hopefully people watch this because, again, we're going to be talking about the ATC a lot. I'm very happy for this event, and I've said this 1,000 times on the show. The people running it are some of the best people in the industry, in the Tournament Organizer Club.
Oh, for sure.
Well, Troy, I am glad you're here. I mean, I was really freaking out. Now I can finally chill.
It's not a show, until a couple of people show up. So,
yeah, man.
Okay, so the last several podcasts we went over all the missions. Mission 1, 2, and 3, and they're going to run mission 1, 2, and 3 twice. So, if you didn't quite nail it the first time you played, you're going to get another shot at it.
Yeah.
I really feel like with the comprehensive review that we did, that anybody who was going to ATC that did not listen to those 3 episodes is going to be at a disadvantage compared to the people that did, and even combining that with people who actually play tested the missions on top of that. I mean, there's not much more insight you can get into what the purpose of a mission is and what you're supposed to accomplish than by asking the guy who actually wrote the mission to explain it to you. So,
well, the best I can do is just lay out what the objectives are, and I think that's what we did. We laid out what the objectives were, like your path to victory, and as we determined on the show, there are multiple paths to that victory. Like everyone has different play styles, and each one of y'all thought that you had a way that could win the mission. And that's the exact. And you're right. You're right. The missions are designed so that multiple lists can compete. But in this event, you got the added layer on top of that of being able to pick matchups to where you might get your complete foil lined up against you.
Them foils, man.
With all the stuff going on with the dynamics of having to do the matchups and the pairings, knowing your mission, knowing your list, that's the most important thing with any tournament, right? You got to know your list. So, the dudes that put in the work and put in the time, it's going to show. You're going to see them in more of the top tables. Not saying that the team that gets the wooden spoon didn't prepare, but they could have prepared more.
That's just what happens. All right, I'm bringing Seer Council with an Eldar Combined Arms attachment.
What a jerk!
I know. I'm running.
Look at Ash's question here as you're reading off your list. I want you to read his question.
I've got 3 Farseers and Baharoth.
Yeah. And you're running a different list.
Yeah. So it's a fairly tame Eldar list. Now against the right matchup, though, I've got like 17, 19 psychic dice in the psyche phase.
Yeah, it is a strong list. It's just not that. Oh my God! The guy brought another Wraith Knight and some Scat Pack.
Let's jump right into Ash's questions. Like, what do you think we're going to see at the ATC? Keep hearing about people say they're. Now, look, I actually did look at the. Somebody made like an enthusiastic post on DACA today, and I read DACA. I enjoy a lot of the stuff. I basically look at the painting and modeling sections because it's beautiful stuff. Absolutely beautiful. I love DACA forums. Yeah, I really do. I try to stay out of the rules stuff. But all the other stuff. Everyone's saying, or not everyone, there's a couple of people saying that I don't like it because Eldar are going to run unchecked. Now, that is ridiculous. It's ridiculous to even say that because you have the matchup dependent. Yep. If you get got by whatever that boogeyman list is, something went wrong. You had to lose the roll. You had to not anticipate the matchups. There's a lot. It's not just I happen to draw this guy in an RTT, which can happen. That can in a rock paper scissors or that you just misdraw and you're boned, and there's nothing you can do about it. In this event, there are 2 or 3 different more levels of how to insulate yourself from doing that. And there are plenty of lists out there that can kill 5 Wraith Knights, 100 Wraith. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, there's plenty of lists. And in this format, it's difficult to make the Dark Eldar combination. Or I would have done it. I seriously considered taking the Webway portals with the D-sites and that kind of stuff. But it's a difficult list to put together in this format.
And anybody with Interceptor is gonna cause some hurt on that unit, and then all of a sudden your gimmick is gone. Like there's so much to think about more than just what is the easy plug and play gimmick that I can throw into it. These people that are coming to the ATC are tactical, intelligent thinkers. They're going to know not to line you up against someone that's going to be able to handle that.
Very true. And I know that some of the I want to use hardcore gamers too proud to get advice from the internet or a podcast. Let me tell you, you bring 5 Wraith Knights, I got 120 zombies that are going to love to hang out with you.
Have fun. Good luck, buddy. You got 4 swings? I got 116 dudes left. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you stomped out. Oh, you got 3 stomps, 3 6s? Well, there's still 15 more guys left next round. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Literally, I have no respect for a freaking Wraith Knight. If you haven't listened to the last podcast, I don't respect them.
Let me say, now, what you're talking about, those lists are terrible to play against. In a 3-round RTT, if you come up against that and you're not prepared, which it takes work to be prepared for that. You come up against that and you're not prepared, you're going to have a bad couple hours. But in this tournament, in these missions, if your job is to score points for your team, like there's 150 or 100 and something, 50-something points, 60-something points available in every single round. Your job is to get whatever portion of that you can for your team.
It's like hungry hippos with points.
Yep. Yeah, and I stand by that. You make your points. It's like, you know what? And that's the fortitude it takes, the mental fortitude. Let me tell you, the several years, and I don't mind saying this, we've had people on the team that couldn't handle getting beat 2 or 3 games in a row. They couldn't handle it, so we couldn't put them in that position.
I'll lose every game. I'm getting you all the points, though.
Yeah, I mean, that was the mission. That was my mission for the first 3 years, was to try not to lose every game, going out first every time. And we did. I mean, I didn't, but some of that's luck. Some of that's playing down in a matchup and just like clawing and keeping the same drive every game that you had Basically, your first round of every RTT. I'm going to do it today. Put me in, coach. Let me get in there.
I just want to point out real fast, Justin talking about zombies, it's basically he just wants to play Zombicide 40K.
I do. I can't help it, man. Don't
Justin,
unleash.
talk about zombie. Talk about Zombicide for 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Oh, no. You can't do that to me. I need 2 3/4. No, man. I wanted to make a point though too. You're talking about the webway portals, and you're talking about the D size and all this crap. What do those kill? They kill big scary things. They kill Death Stars, right?
They do.
We're gonna see MSU, man. Ooh, you hit me with how many D shots? You killed my Rhino. Congratulations, buddy.
I didn't pay any points for that Rhino.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. People need to stop freaking out over stuff, man. Like it's there's a way to deal with it. It does what it does, man. It's a last cannon. Think of a D shot as a last cannon. It's gonna kill that one thing real good.
I want to live the dream to when I get to roll 2. I want to shoot 2 different knights and roll 2 6s. That's what I want to do. I want to do that at least once.
You know what I'm saying though? Like people just like when you're playing these matchups and you're thinking about these like feel bad things, man. There is so many counters, man. Just listen back to the past shows. Hit me up, man. Hit me up on that Twitter.
I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not taking that list. I am taking a Wraith Knight in my list, but it's more of it's like what Justin has mentioned before. It's a bullet unit. I'm just want to in certain games. I'm just going to be able to like really determine your movement.
One Wraith Knight, man, is so dynamic to a list though. Like I don't respect Wraith Knights in the aspect where I should fear it. But you have to understand what a Wraith Knight's capable of. It's fast as crap. It's going to knock the tar out of you, but you just have to know how to counter that.
It's tough. It's really tough. And I don't want to say that you should not respect the 5 Wraith Knight list. Mm-hmm. But in this tournament, you had the ability to mitigate what it can do to your points. That's where I'm going.
You have a summoning army. I play Kelly K. In the chat. I play him all the time, man. This dude summons everything. I can't even keep my mind. Can't comprehend the stuff that he's summoning. He's just throwing this stuff at my Wraith Knight. It's not a Wraith Knight because I have a soul, but
Wraith Knights have a soul too. Rock.
Yeah. They do have a soul.
But they do have a soul,
in a gym,
right?
It's
a
little stone of a soul. But you know what I'm saying? Like he bogged me down. I had a really good Sanguinary Guard Death Star. He bogged that sucker down, man. 7 straight turns. I swear to God, it was crazy. That's how you can deal with a Wraith Knight, though. Just constantly throw stuff at it, constantly hit it with things, and you'll whittle it away too. Like like I said, I say I don't respect them, but you have to understand where I'm coming from. I just don't fear them. I have the tools in the toolbox. I got the brain, and I'm gonna. That sucker.
I had an opportunity this weekend to introduce some of those concepts to some newer players that were playing in an RTT for the first time, and like their list design was completely chaotic. One of them was a chaos player, so that makes sense. But there's some tactics in there that I had 2 new players that were up against each other. One was a Necron player. One was he was the Chaos player, and he had a bunch of Chaos Terminators with Abaddon and Typhus all bumped into one single unit with a separate Chaos Lord. And so he's just got this massive Terminator bomb that he deep struck right in the middle of Necron territory, and he just kept getting shot by dozens of warriors, and he would eventually start failing saves, start failing his feel no pain.
Introduce him to the guy we talked about on the show last week.
Yeah, Adam. Yeah, Luffy. No, yeah, for sure. It's just like one of those things where this Necron player was looking at those Terminators thinking, I'm never going to kill any of these guys. But after a round or 2 of shooting...
Dude, guardsmen kill Terminators. The Terminators need to fear 20 guardsmen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
throw enough dice at somebody, they're going to start failing saves. And all of a sudden, once he realized that, I could just see the light in his eyes. He felt a little bit more empowered, and he did really well that game.
Man, let me tell you, I've been putting together a bunch of Chaos Demons, which y'all know if you follow the Twitter. I've been posting up some work in progress pics. That's where I put most of those pictures on Twitter because not that many people see it. I don't want to bog down the main page with it. But the Zinch Chariot, what's it called? It's called
Exalted Chariot of Zinch or something.
Yeah, I got it around here somewhere. That kit has some serious value in it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look,
40
I'm not going to
bucks?
make the chariot. I'm not going to make the chariot. But it comes with 3 pink horrors that you can, I mean, and they fit on a base. Like, I know it's going to be difficult to see, but like these are it. And you can't, in a squad of 10 or whatever, you're not going to be able to pick these guys out as not one of the ones out of the box. It comes with a Herald figure. It comes with 2 Screamers and like a couple of Flamers you could use as, you could probably convert to be Heralds also.
And a disc of Zinch.
And a disc, yeah.
Yep.
It's big enough to put like a Demon Prince on.
Yeah. I got, it's not close, is it? Crap. I got a dude, the fantasy guy with the big spear, and he's got like the sword across his back. He was released like 2 or 3 years ago. Just a bog standard Chaos Lord.
You mean Age of Sigmar?
Oh, my bad. my bust. All right, my bust.
You mean AOS? It's AOS or bust.
Yeah. Well, I threw a backpack on that Joker, and I threw him on top of that disc, and that's my new Zinch Sorcerer for the one time I'll probably ever use him. And he looks cool as hell.
Yeah, I just don't get behind the way Zinch looks. I just don't like him.
I'm gonna grab it now.
Let me tell you about this. Is like I built, and this is going to be the grand unveiling within the next couple of months or so. But I built a Festus, the Leech Lord guy, as Fate Weaver, and I've got him on one of the Chaos Stars from the War Shrine, above the Cauldron from the Dark Elf Cane thing, Cauldron of Blood or whatever, coming up. It's gonna look awesome. That's all I can say. It's going to look awesome. But I'm not a big fan of anything not Nurgle, so most of my army is all Nurgle based. So even my horrors, they're pink horrors, but I painted them green.
Yeah, man, in certain light, pink can look green, or, to the colorblind. I think it works. Actually, I think that's cool. And I like that you've done that, and I think for the theme that you're trying to go with, it's perfectly appropriate. You want to summon pink horrors, but you don't want to put pink horrors on the table? Fine.
Well, yeah, I don't even mind. They look like Slimer, so I'm a big Ghostbusters fan also, so all of my dudes look like Slimer, and Slimer is the most Nurgle-like Ghostbuster.
If I ever play against those and I get hit with them, I'm gonna be like, I just got slimed.
You just got, that's it. That's I'm gonna say that every time. Like somebody blows their nose and you want to keep it. That's what.
Let's get a sample.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I've been jibber jabbering too much. I didn't. Season Void Wraith Prime coming in, saying the chariot is actually good now that it can move and fire, but I think it was already written off by the time those rules changed. Look, I'm not saying the chariot you might not be able to build a case for it. All I'm saying is that kit gives you can easily turn each one of your horror kits, into that second dice, psyche dice.
Yeah.
And you get the Herald, and you get all that other stuff. So it's like a force multiplier for the value you get in the chariot. That's all I'm saying.
It's like a $45 kit, man, and you're getting easily. Once you really point it out and think about it, you're getting like closer to $100 worth of stuff. So.
Yeah, things that you can bring onto the table. Like I'm building what is essentially summon fodder. I don't really play Chaos Demons so much, but I love Chaos Space Marines. Again, all my stuff's Nurgle. I felt like it was Christmas in July. I counted them because I'm building this Chaos Marine list for someone to use at the ATC, and I'm like, and I built all these zombies. I'm like, oh man, I might be like 10 zombies short. Turns out I've got 60 more zombies than I needed. So I was like, but I'm building. There's a demon summoning component to that when it's necessary. So I'm building a force. Forces just to be summoned. So I thought that chariot was awesome because it gave me so much summon fodder.
And that's a real adaptive tactic and a good tool for people that need that. I mean, there's not a lot of ways to just bring reinforcements onto the game when you need them. So sometimes if you're paying real points for a unit and you're deciding, all right, I need to send this up to die. I mean, that choice is important to make, and it matters which unit you put forward because you paid points for it. With a summon unit, not as much.
Yeah, and with demons, you're able to in the mission specifically with the ATC is that only one of them is huge kill points.
Yeah.
There's like the missions break out to like 40% of the objectives involve kill points. So in that second mission, you don't want to be summoning anything.
No.
In mission 1, it's basically a summoner's paradise.
Yeah.
Mission 2, you could lose one of the objectives if you summon a lot.
I'm gonna let Weird Al take that song, "Summoner's Paradise," and do
sorry,
something
Mission 3, you have some risk in summoning. Mission 2, you don't want to do it at all. Mission 1,
all day, all day, flood the field.
So I mean, I know it's kind of difficult to check out the list right now that are published, but in our Chaos Marine list, we have Bellicor representing the HQ and some demons. Got some horrors. Got Typhus and another level 3 sorcerer. That's enough psychic dice when paired against the right list to be very annoying.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Bellicor in itself, he brings all the utility. So, Typhus, he might not ever cast anything, you never know. But
dude, that 48-inch malediction.
Well, that's the one.
All right, that thing, I mean, it catch people by surprise all the time. You're like, what? 48-inch malediction? Yeah, buddy, look. I'm sorry I lowered your strength and toughness by 1 from all the way across the table. And then
don't shiver.
Not in this list, but sometimes I put him on a quad gun. And so lower their toughness and just instant death.
Just lob that one out.
Lower toughness, instant death some folks with strength 7. Yeah.
The quad gun's no good no more though.
No, it's not amazing. But Typhus loves firing it in my list.
Yeah.
And Typhus in the fluff is screaming at you like, "Why are you being such a pansy with me?"
Dude, if anybody is close to Typhus, I'll tear their. I've killed one of Goat Boy's bloodthirsters. Let me just tell you, the dude charged him into Typhus. Typhus like 5+5+, instant death.
Yeah. I mean, he's no joke, man. He's expensive, and a lot of people they look at that 230 points and they're like, "Oh man." I was like, "No, oh man, bring it on."
Dante's only 220, and he doesn't have 2 psychic mastery. He can't turn Sanguinary Guard to zombies.
Typhus is the champ.
There's some value.
I've killed more hardcore jokers with Typhus than probably anybody, unless you count my Catechin. My Catechins beat down people all the time. But Typhus has killed several Hive Tyrants. He's killed a Wraith Knight. He has killed, just you name it, Typhus in who's who of 40K, my Typhus has killed him.
So, Typhus or Abaddon? Who's going to win that fight?
Abaddon every day, I think.
Abaddon has some good rules. If you were to look on paper, Abaddon's winning. But in the game against me, Typhus is coming out on top.
Yeah.
Troy is saying, Age of Sigmar is so much fun because of America.
Well,
I can't even say anything about that.
Can't fault you.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Look, I've not played a full game of Age of Sigmar, but I'm going to. And I like some of the and we knew this was going to happen. Every single person that knew anything about Age of Sigmar or read it at all already came up with their own balancing thing in their own brain.
I can't tell you how many documents I've seen people publish of, "Hey, look, we found a way to balance Age of Sigmar."
Yeah, everyone has had an opinion about Age of Sigmar.
It's a great game. That's my opinion.
Look.
It's fun.
This game is not designed to be as serious as we make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, look, this is further than I would have punted the ball. All right? But this is a punt by Games Workshop.
Yeah.
That's a football term, American football term for all you European fellows out there.
That's right. Yeah, that's I don't know, but that's I don't know. I can't even come up with a European sport analogy.
Do a golf metaphor.
Rugby, you punt.
It's a toss. Everyone gets. Sometimes when you're playing in golf, you get a throw. This is a throw.
Hail Mary, man. That's universal.
But honestly, nobody was buying the stuff anyway, all right? Yep. Because it wasn't fun to do. Now, at least every model has a purpose. You have to consciously kind of decide, or it doesn't even matter. You know what? I'm going to use 100 Skaven slaves today.
Love Skaven.
Yeah, Oh yeah, my buddy's already. My buddy Alan, I talk about on the show a lot. He's already like, I found a sneaky way to use the screaming bell. I'm like, you don't need a sneaky way. He's like, no, but I want a sneaky way. So
I want to sneak this gigantic model across the table.
Well, no, I mean a way to get the 13. He doesn't want to just do Fate Weaver and get the.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Yeah, no, it's it.
Those dudes they are no joke, man. Skaven are kind of legit. They were kind of a cannon fodder kind of army in fantasy. That thing that's gone.
Dean, if you're coming to the ATC this year, please come say hey to you and say what's up. He's saying that poor old Airman and Typhus got stomped out, and yeah, that's that is rough, a rough way to go. But it happens. Look, I've stomped out Lysander before, and to make it even worse, I rolled 3 stomps, and I put the other 2 stomps somewhere else, and then I said, I feel the 6 coming. I'm going to put this one over Lysander. 6th. Yeah, but I mean, I did nothing with the other 2 stomps. I figure I might as well have.
You don't need to do anything else with those stomps.
Yeah.
Have to hunting Lysander.
But 55% of this game is trash talking.
Yeah.
And that's what you can do with Age of Sigmar. People get mad. We're in a day and age now where people get upset when you trash talk in 40K.
Yeah. Oh.
Like 55% of my game is gone. Because people get a little bit of butthurtness whenever I trash talk in 40K.
Do not play me if you get scared of some trash talk.
Or if you're scared of large people.
I can trash talk all day long in Age of Sigmar, and what are you going to say? Sorry, we're not playing with any points, so who cares?
There's a rule that says if you trash talk real good, you win. It's in Age. I saw it. It's on a scroll.
Yeah. Well, I roll better. I might as well be rolling with a +1 every time I trash talk.
That's going to be the new model.
Kelly's got a good question. He said, and this is a serious question. I know what do you guys think of scratch-built models?
Ooh, controversy.
And what is considered to be acceptable to play and in tournaments?
Chris, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So if it's a scratch build, I mean, if you're talking about you took the time, you sculpted something from the ground up, or you made it, I would love to see that on the table. I mean, you're not hurting anybody by putting your own art on the table. And in fact, the fact that you're getting creative about it is a compliment that you care enough to do that. It's a compliment to the game, and it's a compliment to the people who are doing it. As long as it's not just like a blob of hot glue chucked into a bits box. Like,
Justin, what do you think?
I like scratch build. I stay away from it just because of the nature that sometimes, and it's exactly why he's asking this question. Some people don't feel the same way. If like you do what Chris is saying, you take that time, you take that effort, go for it. If you're just doing something to save some money and save some time or whatever, don't do it, man. You can hurt more than you can.
Jump in there, man. It's like, look, I don't even mind that. I just don't want to be confused at what I'm looking at on the table. I think it needs to represent what you're trying to have it be. That's all I care about. I need to look. It needs to, like, you can't have, this horror be a plague bearer if you've got plague bearers in your army.
Yeah.
Like I need to be able to look at your stuff and just know what it is. And if I can do that, if I can do that, I'm cool with it, man. This game should be about creativity, should be about bringing cool stuff to the table. Like I've got Chaos Spawn built out of river trolls.
Yep.
Now I did that. I happened to get a good deal on river trolls, but at the same time, it's 3 models for $50 or whatever it is, so I don't know how much cheaper it is, not by
2
much.
models for $44.
I said it's not much cheaper, but it is. Yeah. But I happen to like the distinctiveness of the way that they look.
Yeah, they got a little bit more nerdly to them.
But I don't have anything else in the list that's a river troll. Like I don't have a demon prince as a river troll. I don't have a terminator as a river troll. I don't have any of that. When you're looking at my army, that's the only thing I've got that has that profile.
I'm with Chris though, man. I just don't want to see a well-painted, half-burnt candlestick and say it's a great unclean one.
I'm with you on that. With you on that. So that there is a gray area, but I think you owe it to your opponents to not create confusion for them.
Yeah.
think that gray area is a bit smaller than people act like it should be. I mean, you know if you're doing something sketchy. You know,
I agree.
Kelly has a follow-up question. He talks about, let's assume the player hasn't been creative. Like, say he took an M47, like a Sherman tank or something from a World War II kit and calls it a Lehman Russ. Like, how do you guys feel about that?
I'm gonna give a thumbs down on that.
All day long.
If he goes up and if he goes to the point and finds like all those old tank rider models, like all the Imperial Guard that they used to sell sitting on the side of tanks and that kind of stuff.
Man. I got a joint load of them, man.
Yeah, that's different. That's a different situation altogether.
I feel that the Imperial Guard tanks are so dynamically different than what's actually out there in the real world that it's hard to proxy some of the stuff, especially if you're looking back at the realistic models. That one's a tough sell. You're going to have to do some clever, maybe some barrel swaps and stuff like that to give me that feel.
Guys, I got to jump in here 1 second. And I wouldn't normally do this, except Coach is saying that Family Gamers on his YouTube channel, and he's put that link, it's Family Gamer 777 is having a giveaway.
I entered.
Subscribers.
Do it.
Check it out, and I don't mind talking about it. This dude puts up quality, like, gamer content. He recently had something on there with magnetic primer.
Yeah.
Like, that actually stuck magnets. I mean, like, it's Rust-Oleum magnetic primer, and he's got a tutorial on it on his YouTube channel, and that stuff is all. And that's like one of the things he's got on there. He's got awesome stuff for
tons of stuff.
Sounds like witchcraft to me.
Yeah, dude, I didn't think it was real, but he shows you exactly what it is. He gives you
that sounds real cool.
It's neat. I mean, I think I'm actually going to pick some up and use it for stuff like for vehicles. Like you could put, turrets and sponsons on with this stuff. I feel like it's going to be good, and this dude brings it to you in a very digestible format. Please check it out.
I tried that joint on a display board about 2 years ago, and I used it as my. I'm talking thick. I put like 12 coats, man, and I glued my little thing underneath. Bam. Whoop! It was good to go. That stuff is a godsend. I would have never thought to do what he did, though. So,
and if like 40K tournaments ever turn into a brawl, I feel pretty good about the FTN team. I'm claiming Coach because that dude's got some guns. I got Troop, and that dude's largest arms in 40K. And Troy, you're on the team too. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like like nobody's messing with our team. That's all. Like I'm the smallest guy on the team. All right.
No, Troy is like 5 foot nothing.
I'll tell you. I mean, the same thing happened in sports in high school. No one ever paid attention to me, and just for that reason, I kept on scoring points and scoring goals because no one guarded me.
Pin up rage, man. You're on the team too. I'm just saying nobody's gonna mess with us. All right.
It's gonna happen, man.
The brutish people. Look, sweetest people in the world for sure, but they don't know. The people that we're fighting don't know that. They ain't gonna come near us.
They don't know. We know how to twist Chris, and we can unleash him, and it's going to be like, I don't even know, man. This secret weapon right there for sure.
That's what they call me. I'm not even joking. They call me secret weapon when they chuck me that football.
I believe it.
Nobody was guarding me. They're like, oh, no, not again. And I could walk in there. I was like, that's easy. I should play football professionally.
They called me dummy.
Steve Bully's got a good question. He says, can he use I want to say it's the giant demon print or the demon model as a regular bloodthirster in the seasonal? Would I allow that kind of thing in a tournament?
You talk about the Forge World with the whip and whatnot, Angrath's model?
Angrath?
I
would say yes.
Question?
It's about the same size, too.
Would you allow me to play Angrath as the Wrath of Khorne Thirster at the seasonal? He's not legal to play with, but I want to see the model on the table. Steve, yes, absolutely, man.
Let
me tell you, you're actually at a detriment using that model. Like from a straight rules, line of sight, and lots of like catch and blast himless and that kind of stuff. You're actually at a detriment. I would not feel right saying you couldn't use him. I would advise you the same things I just said. Like you're probably better off with, I don't have one handy, but like the second edition Bloodthirster.
The old dog face killer.
The gargoyle from Hero Quest.
That's right. But yes, man, like I want to see that kind of stuff on the table too. I don't have any. I really don't have a problem with that. Now, with the seasonal coming up in November, I'm going to try to make it as grand as possible. Going to have some extra folks helping out. It's actually going to we're going to name it something along the lines of something awesome in Atlanta.
That's the
But it's going to
exact
be
actual name.
it's going to be in the seasonal series, and it's going to be a Fortune seasonal. And as far as I'm concerned, you can play that guy.
FTN presents something awesome in Atlanta.
That's pretty
Make
much
sure
it.
he's painted.
Yeah, no doubt. Steve's got some awesome looking stuff.
Yeah.
I have to say it because no one over here paints stuff.
I agree.
Dude, yeah. Well, you're leading the charge, man. At your game store, you're showing up with the awesome looking stuff, and people will get in line with that.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the funny thing is like I'm not the Kenny Boucher of painting. I'm not the Dave of painting. Dave paints or whatever. But I show up there with a fully painted army, and I do a pretty good job. But people say, "Oh my gosh, you should paint commissions and things," just because they don't see it. And I think, "Oh man, if you saw someone who was really good at this."
Let me tell you. Let me jump in right here. The best painter in the Southeast. The best. No one's going to know who he is because he doesn't commission paint. But the best painter ever in the Southeast. When I'm playing, I'm just getting back into 4th edition. It might have been the tail end of 3rd or whatever. And I'm playing against a buddy of mine. I'm using some Jack list. He's using some Jack list. We're just getting to know the game. He comes up and he shows me his chaplain. His chaplain, he had lightning claws on his chaplain. He's a Blood Angel chaplain. He's like, "Hey, you play Blood Angels? Check out this dude I just painted." I couldn't appreciate it because I had no frame of reference. Looking back, I should have tried to buy that from him immediately because he had taken off the metal Warp Spider X-Art hand blades and perfectly blended them into a Blood Angel Space Marine. So he had these hand blades leaping over a barrel. Like the guy's coming, like it's the most dynamic model. It's burned into my mind as like a missed opportunity. I'm not even exaggerating. But I couldn't appreciate it because I had not seen other sweet painted models.
Yeah.
I had it in my hand. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty good." And I handed it back to him. Like I feel so stupid at this point.
Yeah, and too for the listeners, that's not saying like you don't bring something not painted to the table ever. You got to play test stuff. We've all played with bottle caps and freaking gray plastic, but if you're going to an actual tournament, a sanctioned event type thing, do your opponent the favor. That's what we mean when we say that. Take the time.
It is respect. You're respecting the event. You're respecting your opponents, and to some degree, you're respecting yourself.
Yep.
Bringing the best you can put up with, or best you can put out.
I've sneezed some gold on some Sanguinary Guard, and I've play tested with them. Now I've got painted Sanguinary Guard, so if I do only need so many, and I'm going to a tournament, I'm going to bring my painted joint before I bring that, I sneeze some gold onto it so it's a Sanguinary Guard.
I can
do that though, for sure.
I can testify that painted models, the dice treat better.
After the first painted models always die first.
After the first game with them, you get that first game out of the way where they die horribly doing nothing, and then for the rest of ever, after you get that curse out of your system, not only are you feeling more confident because you put this, bam, check out this Land Raider. I hand painted Sanguinius on this Land Raider or whatever, Then you're like, bam, you're confident. Your dice are confident. They're feeling your mojo. Things are going to happen on the table. Heroes are going to be made. Tears will be shed. Yeah. It will be a good time.
Void Wraith Prime, I did the exact same thing. I built my Mephiston out of the Astaroth model. Also, he's one of my favorite models. And he's leaping through the air, and I put a sword on it. I mean, it's painted beautifully. I did not paint it. I don't mind saying it's painted beautifully. But I did the same thing.
I like the current Mephiston, and that's just me being sentimentalist about it.
I don't mind. One of the best painted miniatures. I remember to this day, I was watching the replay of a WCW Monday Night Raw. Now, this is when they replayed it at 3 a.m. It went from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. or something like that. I was watching the replay, painting my Mephiston. And I love it. I love it to this day. But I love this model more. This dude is a metal Jesus, and I don't even mind saying it.
I like the concept of the current sculpt. I do like a lot of the conversions. A lot of people use that Astrath model as a base, and it's so much more dynamic, man. Because Mephiston doesn't need to be sitting there all, come on, buddy.
Oh, he needs to be. He's sculpted 15 years later. Like, I mean, come on. It's not even.
If they made a new one, you know that would be the sickest looking model ever.
But I mean, I was really disappointed they didn't get a new one.
I know.
Like, I contacted an amazing painter who doesn't do many commissions. I'm like, you feel this. You feel me. We're right here. I need you to. If they make a new model, I need you lined up to paint this guy.
Yeah, I'm number one.
He agreed, and then no new model. I was like, oh well, I can't even ask you to do anything else.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. I was hoping for a new sculpt too, but I mean, even just looking at his pose, I mean, there's a lot of detail in that model, but just looking at his pose, he just looks like, punch me, I dare you.
Oh, he's awesome. Look, he was the best that they could put out for that period and for years later.
Yeah,
Model is awesome. Corbulo, great model also.
Yep.
Great, hands down. Tycho's even great. He's got crappy rules, but he's still a great model.
I'm shedding a tear for Tycho.
What is it, the Phantom of the Opera thing? I don't know. I can't get around that. But
he is my angel of music, and you shut up.
I like it. No, I think Tycho's awesome. I think he looks cool. I dig the whole half faceplate thing. I mean, it's basically just the other, missing the other half of a death mask. Like, no biggie. Doesn't bother me.
Well, I mean, it's the thing with the bloody. I mean, look at the story. Yeah, he got basically killed in Armageddon.
He got zapped by a weird boy, and it put a stupid psycho Joker grin on his face, like half of his face, and he just like, I can't look at myself in the mirror anymore.
I'm too beautiful. Black.
Yep.
Cow. Just put it right there. That's exactly what he did. I mean, it's a great model.
I'll get behind it eventually.
I even like the original model. That original model was one of the first things I painted to like, this guy is awesome. I had the inks right. I had the shading right on everything. That was a great model. I had the reds right on the cape. Anyway, I'm waxing poetically about the Blood Angels, which it's been
a while since we've had one of those moments on air. I can empathize with you, Paul.
Thank you. But Coach is saying that they need to update those characters. Special characters are weird because you're not going to find as many people as passionate about them as we are. So they're not going to sell that many. They probably have to arrange something where it gets done as cheap as possible.
Now, aside from Baharoth in your list, that's the only real named character you're fielding for ATC, right?
At the ATC, yeah. Baharoth just has all the rules.
Now,
he's got everything you need.
All the lists are out, so I don't mind asking this. For all of, aside from, I know you mentioned Bellicor earlier, but aside from that, do you have a whole lot of named characters in the list for your team?
The White Scars list has Khan, which again
he doesn't count anymore. He's too common. He's so ubiquitous.
Typhus and Bellicor in the Chaos Marine list.
Great combo.
Tyranids don't really have that many special characters that matter, so we're running into Tyranids.
We love you, Gribbly
and then
friends.
let me tell you, Kelly's list is Ricky Addington's list is awesome. That list is the Adamantium Lance with 4 squads of Legion of the Damned.
That's that could hurt. That's something you gotta think about. How are you gonna do
just on
that?
paper is strong itself, but if I get to put that up against the list that I wanted to kill,
yeah.
What list do you want that to kill?
You might as well fill out the scorecard and go drink for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's like, wow. I thought it was something else. I didn't know it was Legion of the Damned.
I was expecting like a Sky Shield or a Voice Shield generator.
All the Knights have all the Skyfire on their back too.
Yeah,
I knew that
covers a lot of threat, man.
Yeah,
that was such a good addition to their book.
Yeah, I agree. It's not amazing, but it's better. It's better than nothing, and it's worth every single point you pay for it.
It is amazing because you're putting it exactly what you want it to kill. Like, that guy. Here it is. Go.
And then all those Legion of the Damned, they're going to work so well, in my opinion, with progressive objectives.
Yeah, drop right in, take people off. That 3++.
Those guys are hard to dislodge.
Yeah, that's no joke right there.
And they get the reroll for the deep strike.
Ignores cover.
Things can still go wrong, right? But I think that list covers a lot of things. Now, we've talked about the list, and we got this question earlier, like, what list do you think you're going to see? I think every team's going to have an Eldar. Every list, is going to have a Decurion. We don't have a Decurion in our list, but that's more because, like, the only guy we had that could play Necrons bowed out because his own reasons, So it's one of those things, that you're going to see this stuff. I think Legion of the Damned are a good counter to a lot of stuff you're going to see.
I don't think that a Decurion fits the mentality of what an FTN team would be, though.
You are right. You are right.
It's just not. It's not how we play. It's not how we think. We have a whole different. There's gears in here that twist a whole lot differently.
We need to be punching stuff, or we're not happy.
Yeah. Eloquently, more eloquently put, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But it's still a very strong list, and that teams are going to do well when they have that, because it's like if you build a Decurion with momentum, you're going to do where you create that momentum with movement and layers of defense and that kind of stuff, which is what a Decurion does. Mm-hmm. You are going to do well in these missions. But that says more to the missions, too, is like they're designed for any list to do okay in, but a Decurion is going to do really, really well in some of these missions.
Yeah. I hate going up against Necrons with the Decurion crap. They're just so hard to kill. Like, Necrons by themselves are kind of a tough army, It's like, all right, I just dished all these wounds. And they're like, oh, wait, reanimation protocols. And you're like, jerk. It just takes forever, it seems, to really whittle them down. And with the Decurion, it's like twice as hard to whittle them down. So I don't know, man. Like they're
playing against the Decurion at Adepticon. Nobody killed anything, and I was in a fight that lasted 3 turns, and I eventually just hit and run out with half my arm or half my unit. I killed a few. I killed an appropriate amount of Necrons. He killed an appropriate amount of Marines, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hit it right out of here.
Cut losses, yeah. Yeah, I've been in that situation. I was locked down in a...
We're just rolling dice and nothing's happening on both sides.
Yeah, it was the Keeper of Secrets, man.
Yeah. The Canoptic Harvest, man. That thing is tough to get rid of.
Yeah.
If you are not going to stomp that out, if you can't stomp that out or get some 6s on those D-strength attacks, you're going to be there for a little while unless you got some hit and run.
I played against something very similar to that. There was an RTT, this was a few months ago at this point, and I wasn't prepared. I didn't have anything built that I wanted to play. I contacted a friend of the show, and I was like, hey, can I borrow your knights? My third knight is still not painted, all right? And
shame on you for not painting the third one.
Yeah, I've got it primed, and I actually got the skeleton all done, but I don't have any of the armor plates, and that's because that's what you need to put the artistry into.
Oh, yeah.
So I borrowed the adamantium lance from someone, and I paired it with guard, and I got to stomp all over some Necrons. It was a very nice game for me.
Cathartic.
It was.
I gotta bring back the guard, man. That was just such a fun army to play.
Guard's still good, man.
I have a crush on guard right now, a 40k crush on guard. I really just want to have a bunch of tanks on the field and just boom. I've got a Baneblade that's primed. It's been primed for almost 3 years. I haven't painted it yet.
Guard with tanks are good. I mean, let's also be honest. There's a lot of environment, and we don't have that much time left, but there are a lot of environments out there that use some of like the Nova format, and this is not me being critical of the Nova format. I think the Nova tournament is going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a social event, and go and play in that. That's enough promotion of that right now. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But they downplay kill points. And in a game that downplays kill points, in a format that downplays kill points, these lists become ultimately more viable. I'm not saying they're the be-all, end-all, or they make other lists that are good less viable, but it makes some of these other lists more viable.
Couple platoons and chimeras, man, and you just start spamming the field.
Yeah, chimeras or tower boxes or whatever, whatever your preferences of playing. In those environments, they're going to be better because the kill points are downplayed. And even in things like the ATC, I was just talking about math-wise, the kill points are only 40%, so 60% of the game. So if you're going to be, if you go into this event and you're a list that can get 60% of the points, you're doing amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially
your job for your team.
Your whole team can do that. That puts you in a good spot.
Yeah, you need to be making 110 points per round or whatever, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. If you're averaging 110 points, you're in top 5. You're 1 to 5. That's what your position is.
Yeah. Yeah, next year, man. I know we have to, live off of your coattails for this year. We couldn't make it, but man, next year, y'all don't even know.
I'm going to be trying to tweet during the event. I'm going to be trying to post to our Facebook. I'll probably be sending you guys some pictures to hopefully get up on the Facebook and stuff. As much as I can without being annoying to my opponents. My first job will be to preserve the integrity and the experience of the game, but I'm going to be trying to provide coverage as much as I can during the event also.
And there is sincere weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth going on that I can't make it to some of these cool events you guys got going on over there.
Dude,
Geography hates me sometimes.
Yeah, can't make it out to every single one. You pick and choose next year. Be part of the show.
Well,
Adepticon is number 1 on that list, but I do want to make it to the season.
When you get on a team, next year Adepticon, I'm going to try my best to have a Forged Narrative team. Hopefully doing better than we have the last couple of years. But I have every reason to believe that we will.
Well, we can start planning for that now because I have money set aside that I set aside a little bit more each time I get paid that is just straight up Adepticon trip money.
That's a great way to do it. I mean, Adepticon is a destination event. So, but there's going to be several. The Bay Area Open's a destination event. The Nova is a destination event. Unless you want to come to DragonCon. I'll be at DragonCon this year. I'll be at DragonCon every year. I'll be at DragonCon every year. So, look. But that doesn't mean that if you want to play 40K, you go to Nova. You want to hang out with a bunch of cosplayers and drink with me, you come to DragonCon. But I'm going to talk more about Nova.
DragonCon's literally a third mile away from Paul Murphy, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's 20 minutes south, and I'm there. So anyway, there's no slight on any event. But yeah, planning these events, Chris, exactly what you're talking about is how you have to do it. Pick and choose where you want. And we want to see in Atlanta for the Atlanta event coming up. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to put every ounce of energy that I did into that North Carolina event, which Atomic Empire is amazing. They are awesome hosts.
Great hosts,
and I'm not saying we won't eventually host another one up there too, but I'm going to try to spread it out a little bit. But every ounce of energy that I put into that, which was a lot, going to put that much and more into the Atlanta event, and it's going to be great. And I hope to see as many people as I possibly can there.
Yeah, we can't talk it up enough. I mean, we're still definitely hard in the planning phase, but man, it is literally I'm so excited just to be in the planning phase of it. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna blow my mind when we actually see it and touch it. It's gonna be awesome.
Adepticon for me is like that faraway dream that I'm reaching for. But
dude, it's awesome.
The Forged Narrative seasonal.
We got 1 minute left, and yes, I want to talk about that, but I also want to share the love with the other events. Mark Meekin is asking, saying we need to travel more to the other side of the world, to the LVO, and I agree. Reese and Frontline Gaming and Table War are
I'll be at LVO
awesome.
This year.
Tasty Tastes out there. I want to get out there, and I want to crash on one of their couches. That's all I can say.
That one is a little easier for me to get to, matter of fact. Yeah. That one might be possible.
What army would we recommend for transport's sake versus power level? He says he's thinking Marines with 4 Land Raiders and a Knight. Use that Land Raider formation. That Land Raider formation is actually
good.
really good. If Land Raiders are your jam, use that formation.
Godhammer all the way, though.
And out there, they play with Forge World, and I was just talking in our admin chat today, FTN admin chat today, about how much I like those rapier platforms, to where like all the large blast and that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, Forge World's hot on putting cool weapons on those platforms.
165 points get you 3 of the rapier laser ones. Ouch.
Yeah, so that on a Sky Shield or in a Bastion or something like that.
Ouch.
Bastion would be great. I mean, that's got some height. It's going to be hard to hide from that thing.
Yeah, that thing's a beast. Those are
Mark,
like,
I agree
6
with you.
hard shots.
I agree with you. We need to be out there, and and I'm not saying it's not out of the realm of possibility. I love playing in those formats, and I think that playing out there would be awesome.
LVO, I will be there this year.
I do think East Coast players are better than West Coast players.
I'm winning it because I'm not going to let no stinking West Coaster take it.
I'm just keeping the foot in both rounds. I'm going to take the goodness from each.
Yeah, and I'm gonna claim Pajama Pants as an East Coast player, so you guys gotta step it up.
With our powers combined.
I'm gonna get him on the show to talk about some of his success he's had in tournaments recently.
That BAO champ, man.
I am looking forward to talking to him
stop
again.
Right now.
Guys, it's 11:01. We gotta wrap it up before Google shuts us off. So yeah, I know. I really appreciate all the comments we've had in the chat. I want to thank you guys for joining me on the show tonight. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
4 minutes.
Troop like Zombicide.
Troop like Zombicide, yeah. You see how perked up you got? We talked about it on the pod. Anyway. Good night, everybody. Have a good rest of y'all's night. See y'all next week.